Hello, namaste, and welcome to Astro Divas. Let's cover the week from 23rd to 29th of August. Now, we do not have any major planet transit this week, but this week is still very powerful, defined by a partial lunar eclipse. Eclipse often gets a reputation for being intense, but remember, they are natural phenomena meant to realign us. So, we need to see what it is trying to tell us. We have lunar eclipse on 29th of night and 28th of early morning. So local time will depend on your location. Now what makes this eclipse so special is that it falls in the sign of Aquarius and in Shatabhisha Nakshatra, the star constellation, which is known for the power of 100 healers. Now this will be bringing a wonderful wave of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our life. Now, the major themes of this eclipse quietly carries one is for emotional healing, where old wounds you have sitting with may surface for closure, breaking old pattern, old habits where repeatable unhealthy attachments may finally come to an end, and spiritual growth as well, making this an excellent window for meditation, prayer, and self-reflection. Hidden truths become clearer, and where information that was concealed may suddenly reveal itself. Inner transformation is also on the card, which is more about changing the external circumstances. And finally, collective healing is also there on the cards because this eclipse falls in the sign of Aquarius. So, social, humanitarian, technology, scientific themes, all of these may quietly become more prominent in your life and the world around you. As always, please watch these predictions from your ascendant sign, but you can also watch it from your moon sign to get a complete picture. Yeah, just one more information is these are some of the local timing that I could Google through for various country, but most of all, it is falling on 27th of night and 28th of night or early morning. So please, you can Google it for your local timing to exactly know what is the eclipse time for your current local location. All right, let's begin. Welcome to all the Aries rising. Aries, we have four events this week. Three of them are moon transits, and one is the partial lunar eclipse, which is happening on August 28th in the sign of Aquarius. But before we talk about the eclipse, let's start with the planet moon and let's see how you're going to feel this week. Now, on August 23rd, the week opens with the moon already in the sign of Sagittarius in your ninth house, bringing warm and thoughtful undertone. A good window to connect with your father, mentor, or a teacher, or to reflect on your belief and long term direction. However, due to Saturn and Mars aspecting the same house, there is a serious discipline weight in the air. So avoid taking major decisions around higher learning or long distance matter lightly this week. Also, pay attention to your father's health. This week, anyway, eclipses are there and you should avoid long distance traveling if possible. Then on August 25th, the moon moves into the sign of Capricorn in your 10th house of career. Your focus turns to work, public standing, and ambition. You may feel emotionally restricted or a bit restless around work matters as Mars is also expecting. However, there is a quiet grace of Jupiter's aspect as well on your 10th house. So the heaviness is really protected. Do not push hard and let steady efforts carry you. Expect some actions and new initiatives from you at your work front. Now, on August 27th, the moon will be in the sign of Aquarius in the 11th house of gains and friends. So, matter of income, network, and long term goals come into the focus. Now, Rahu is already placed here, and the partial lunar eclipse falls right here on the same day on the August 20th. So, emotional turbulence and unexpected friendship shifts or income surprises may quietly steer up around this window. Handle group matters, financial commitments, and important conversation with real care. We will cover more in the next section. But we are also having in India. We'll be also celebrating Raksha Bandhan on the same day. It's a full moon day as well. So let's see what happens in the eclipse period. So the eclipse may not be or may be visible to your location, but always remember the energy still touches all of us at a subtle karmic level. Now, what makes this eclipse so special is that it falls in the sign of Aquarius and in Shatabhisha Nakshatra, the star constellation. This nakshatra is known to have the power of 100 healers together. Now, this will be bringing wonderful waves of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our lives. Now, Aries, for you, this particular lunar eclipse is happening in your 11th house of incomes and gain, even social network, bringing a quiet realignment around your long term goals and friendships. Now, let's see what all you can experience. First is expect sudden clarity around friendships. You may quietly distance yourself from certain groups or realize some connections are no longer serving you or where you're heading. Now, Rahu's presence may trigger unexpected shifts in your income flow. So, a delayed bonus, a surprise expense, or an unconventional income avenue may open up. A long term goal or desire may hit a temporary roadblock, quietly asking you to rethink your strategy and align with something more authentic. Now, minor friction with elder siblings, senior colleague, older friends may also surface. Someone's real intentions and true motives might quietly surface. So don't react or get into any arguments. Just watch quietly and let the truth comes out naturally. Now keep your communication clear and honest. Also, since it is falling on Raksha Bandhan day, pay soft attention to your siblings or siblings' well-being. Now, digital and group shifts with Rahu sitting very strongly in Aquarius. So, sudden shifts in your online communication, social media circle, or tech linked income source may quietly emerge, which is good. Then please take extra care of your mother's health and her well-being around this time. Hold off signing any property document or making major real estate deals until this eclipse energy settles. Now, moon is your fourth house. Fourth house is connected to mother and property, and hence you need to be taking care of any major deal if it is coming for the sign of this week. If you can avoid, you should be avoiding it. Now be very cautious with your finances right now. Avoid lending large sums of money either to friends or to family members, and stay away from risky speculative investments as well. Now remember, this is a healing window because the eclipse is in Satvisha Nakshatra, the nakshatra of the 100 healers and ruled by Varuna. This is, this is genuinely a strong window for breaking habits, detoxifying your lifestyle, and working on long-term goals quietly without shouting them, or sharing them with this world. And if you have been draining yourself trying to keep everyone happy or seeking validation from your social circle, this is your time to stop. Focus on your own peace of mind instead of constantly trying to satisfy others. Now, remember, eclipse is a period where we all need to pause and maybe restrict our movements, or not, if not restrict, at least be watchful. Because even though it may not be visible, but it is always playing on our mind. Now, Aries, let me also cover some remedies if you're feeling overwhelmed this week or from last week, because we had solar eclipse, now we have lunar eclipse. So this last 15 days of August are not very great, but good news is September is a very beautiful month coming up. Now anyway, for the eclipse period, what you can do is chant Om Namah Shivaya 108 times, especially during eclipse hours. Lord Shiva is classically the deity who calms Rahu and brings peace to the mind. Avoid starting anything new, signing contracts, making major financial decision, buying a property, going abroad, traveling long distance during eclipse window, at least that day. And quiet reflection carries more value on this day. Now, after eclipse end, donate food, essential groceries, or offer help to unprivileged people. Any act of charity gently settles the this heavy energy. A small contribution to a group cause or humanitarian effort you believe in also gently heals the 11th house and the eclipse period. Now, please remember, this is a natural phenomena that happens every year. There is nothing to fear. It is more of psychological and inner reset than the external one, like in solar eclipse. And it ripples may quietly play out over next few weeks or months. So, if you make use of the remedies that I have just shared, and understand how the eclipse quietly touches your inner world. This period is actually will leave you clearer, lighter, and more aligned. Remember, it's happening in Satabhisha, which is a healer of the nakshatra. Now, let us look at your weekly indicator. Now, personal is medium. It's a very reflective week, more inward than outward. Career and finance is medium. Social is low because it is happening in your 11th house of social network. Love is medium, steady, but not the strongest week for the romantic focus. And health is medium. Emotional turbulence around the eclipse can affect sleep. So follow the remedies that I have shared earlier. Now, best wishes to all the Aries rising. And if you would like to have a personal reading, please feel free to reach out to me on the contact details given below on the screen. All the best. Welcome to all the Taurus rising. Taurus, we have four events this week. Three of them belongs to the moon transit and one is a special event of partial lunar eclipse on August 28th in the sign of Aquarius in Shatabhisha Nakshatra and which closes the eclipse season for this month. But let's talk about the moon transits first and see how you're going to feel this week. Now, on August 23rd, the week opens with the moon already in the sign of Sagittarius in your 8th house, bringing an introspective and searching undertone. Hidden matters, joint finances, or emotional layer may come up quietly. However, due to Saturn and Mars aspect on the same house, avoid pushing into risky financial decisions, discussions, insurance, or shared assets lightly this week. Then on August 25th, the moon moves into the sign of Capricorn in your ninth house of luck, father, higher learning. So your mind turns to purpose, mental, and long term direction. You may feel emotionally restricted or a bit restless around these matters as Mars is also aspecting this house. However, there is a quiet grace of Jupiter's aspect also. So the heaviness is real, but it is protected. So reflect deeply and let your wisdom guide you. Now, on August 27, Moon will be in the sign of Aquarius in your 10th house of career. So matters of work, leadership, and public presence comes into your focus. Now, Rahu is already placed here, and the partial lunar eclipse will also fall right here in this house on August 28th. So sudden workplace shifts, career surprises, or public visibility changes may quietly stir up around this window. So handle work matter and senior conversations and career discussion with real care. We will cover more on the next segment on eclipse. Yes, now let us talk about the eclipse. This eclipse may or may not be visible from your location, but the energy still touches all of us at a subtle level. Now, what makes this eclipse so special is that it is falling in the sign of Aquarius in Satabhisha Nakshatra. Satabhisha is known for having the power of 100 healers. Bringing a wonderful wave of restoration, emotional clarity, and being healing into our lives. Let's see how to utilize this eclipse energy. For Taurus, this is falling in 10th house of career and work. So it is not a physical event as much it is in the like a solar eclipse. It is more of emotional, our inner reset around the professional world and how you show up in public life. So what you can experience is you may quietly question if your current role is truly aligned with where you want to go. Sudden shifts in company policies, management, or leadership may also surface. If you have been waiting for a promotion, appraisal, or public recognition, it may hit a temporary pause and then open up the new terms. Now, because the moon rules your third house of communication, be extremely careful with your words, emails, messages, and work presentations. Double check your travel schedules for short trips and be cautious on social media or online platform to avoid misunderstanding or online scam. Yes, be very careful. Now, avoid emotional spending or buying things just to temporary comfort right now. Stick to a simple, practical budget. Also, stop carrying everyone else's burden, Taurus, at the cost of your own peace. Setting healthy boundaries isn't selfish, it's very necessary, especially in the vulnerable time like eclipse. Now, minor frictions with senior managers or authority figures may show up. Do not react impulsively and do not resign in frustration. Public reputation sensitivity is also there. Since Rahu is here, your public image or online presence may quietly come under review. Handle social visibility with care. I think I already touched upon this point. Then, because the eclipse is in Satvisha, utilize this energy, the nakshatra of 100 healers. This is a very strong window to quietly rework your career direction, break unhealthy work habits, rethink about your career plans, align with someone more authentic, talk to your seniors or trusted people whom you think can, give guidance on your career and future plans. Now, some of the remedies, if you're feeling too, overthinking or you're feeling heavy, chant Om Namah Shivaya 108 times during eclipse. Then avoid starting anything new, signing contracts, or making major financial decision during this week. And quiet reflection carries more value, especially on the day of eclipse. Once eclipse is over, you can always donate food, essential groceries, or offer help to underprivileged people. Now, since this eclipse is happening in the 10th house, quietly reflect on your professional direction and respect or give gratitude to whatever you have achieved so far, to your senior mentors or people who have helped you, and small acts of service at your workplace or community gently heals this area during the eclipse period. Now, for all of you Taurus, this eclipse is falling in the 10th house of career. So, it is not a physical event as much as it is an emotional and inner reset around your professional world and how you show up in public life. So, let's see how what can you experience here. You may quietly question if your current role is truly aligned with where you want to go. Sudden shifts in company policies, management, or leadership may also surface. If you have been waiting for a promotion, appraisal, or public recognition, it may hit a temporary pause or open up some new terms attached to it. Now, because the moon rules the third house for you, Taurus, which represents communication, so you need to be extremely careful with your words, emails, messages, and work presentations. Double check your travel schedules as well, your short trips, your even long distance journey, and be cautious on social media or online platform to avoid misunderstanding or even online scam. If you're doing some online shopping, please be very careful. Now, avoid emotional spending or buying things just to temporary comfort right now because this period is very heavy. So, and it's connected to the third house. It's connected to online. So, stick to a simple and practical budget. Also, stop carrying everyone else's burden. Or it's very very important for you at the cost of your own peace. Don't do it. Settling healthy boundaries isn't selfish. It's necessary. Now, minor friction with seniors at work, your manager, some senior figure, authority figure can also happen. So do not react impulsively and do not just send any email or resign in this frustration because this period is a bit vulnerable for 10th house for career. Because Rahu is also there, online presence will also come under review. So if you are a content creator or if you are in front of camera, handle social visibility with care. Now, because this eclipse is happening in Shatabhisha Nakshatra, utilize this energy. And how to navigate through this eclipse energy is because it represents, the energy of 100 healers, Shatabhisha. So, this is a strong window to quietly rework on your career direction. Talk to somebody who is senior to you, who's your well-wisher, who has expertise. How to develop your career further, how you can go further, what is it that you should be doing. So this eclipse will help you to reflect and also break unhealthy work habits as well if you're doing too much or too less, or if you need to learn something new. So align with someone more authentic to help in your work area for your future. Now let's look at some remedies for you. One is chanting Om Namah Shivaya is always helpful during eclipse time. Avoid signing any new work contract or any a major financial decision during especially the eclipse day if you can avoid, and avoid even traveling on that day if possible. Now donate food or essential groceries or offer help to underprivileged after every eclipse, whether it's solar or lunar eclipse. Offering food or groceries to underprivileged is always a good idea. Now let's look at your weekly indicator. And also one more thing is this is a natural phenomena which happens every year. There is nothing to fear. It is more of psychological and inner reset than an external one. But it ripples and may quietly play out over few weeks or even few months. So remember everything that we discussed here and utilize the energy. Now let's look at your weekly indicator. Personal is medium, reflective and inward. hold your patience. Then career is low, it is happening in your 10th house, so just hold back any major discussion decisions. And social is medium, love is medium, handle partnership conversation gently. Health is medium. Eclipse week actually is fatigue may show up. A gentle remedy to do is 10 minutes slow evening stretches. Stay well hydrated and step away from screen. Detox time before bedtime. So best of luck to all the Taurus rising. And if you would like a personal reading, feel free to reach out to me on the contact details given below on the screen. All the best. Welcome to all the Gemini rising. Gemini, we have four events this week, three transits for the moon, and one major event is for partial lunar eclipse, which is happening on August 28th. But let us look at the moon transits first before we talk about the eclipse. On August 23rd, the week opens up with the moon already in the sign of Sagittarius in your seventh house of marriage and partnership, bringing warmth and thoughtful connection with your spouse or business partner. However, due to Saturn and Mars aspect on the same house, some seriousness or intensity may also show up in your closest relationship. So avoid sharp conversation or major partnership decisions lightly this week. Then on August 25th, the moon moves into the sign of Capricorn in your eighth house of transformation and hidden matters. So your mind turns inward. You may feel emotionally restricted or a bit restless as Mars is also aspecting. However, there is a quiet grace of Jupiter's aspect also, which is falling on the same house. So the heaviness is real, but it is protected. So avoid financial risks and let old emotional patterns quietly release if you can. Then on August 27th, the moon will be in the sign of Aquarius in the ninth house of luck and fortune. So matter of belief, teachers and long-term direction comes into the focus. Rahu is already present there and the partial lunar eclipse falls right here on the next day. So sudden shifts around your father or higher learning or long distance travel plans may quietly stir up. Also pay attention on your father's health. Anyway, we are covering more on the lunar eclipse in the next segment. So this eclipse may or may not be visible from your location, but the energy still touches all of us at a subtle level. Now, what makes this eclipse so special is that it falls in the sign of Aquarius. um, and in Satabhisha Nakshatra. Satabhisha is known as the healer. It has the power of 100 healers together, bringing a wonderful wave of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our lives. Now, for you, Gemini, the eclipse falls in the ninth house of luck and fortune. So it is not physical event as much as it is an emotional or inner reset around your belief, purpose, and guiding wisdom. So what you may experience in the coming days or weeks is first is long held convictions, teachings, or philosophies of your life may quietly come up for review. Something you have been sitting with may ask to be updated. Then father, mentor, teacher, your guru. Some frictions can happen on that part. Emotional distance or misunderstanding with your father, guru, senior mentor can happen. You have to pay attention to your father's health also during this week. Now, because it is happening in the nakshatra of Shatabhisha, because the frictions are arising, how to navigate this energy is get into the zone of talking and resolving things, because the energy of healers are backing this week. Especially this week is so strong. You, if you have any friction with your mentor, guru, or father, anybody senior in your life, this is, I think this is the good time to go and resolve. Now, foreign travel, higher study plans, or long distance decision may hit some delays or some unexpected turns. You can also avoid signing any paper, contract, or deals this week. Now, because Moon rules your second house of family and speech, you should avoid harsh words or hasty reaction during family discussion. Any ancestral property or financial inheritance discussion during eclipse energy is not a very good idea. Now, you may feel a deep, sudden interest in astrology, philosophy, or ancient knowledge as well. Channeling your energy into research, writing, or studying will bring immense mental peace right now, rather than getting into some heated argument. If you're involved in publishing, teaching, or advisory work, handle communication gently. Words carry more weight, and moon is involved, or mental status is also involved, and we may speak or say something which we don't mean. Now, because the eclipse is in Satvisha, like I said earlier, this is a strong window for quietly deepening your inner wisdom, breaking rigid belief system, and aligning with a more authentic spiritual understanding. So, this is actually a very good time, especially for reflection. Now, some of the remedies that I can share with you if you're feeling overwhelmed or if it's feeling heavy, you can chant Om Namah Shivaya during the eclipse day, and don't sign any new contract on this day. Avoid long distance traveling if you can. Then, after eclipse ends, donate some food, essential grocery to help some underprivileged people. Now, because this eclipse is happening in the ninth house, offer prayers to your ancestor, and reconnect quietly with your spiritual practice as well. Now, please remember, this is a natural phenomena that happens every year. There is nothing to fear. It is more of a psychological and inner reset than an external one, and it ripples may quietly play out for over next few weeks or months. But anyway. Let's navigate and utilize the Satabhisha's energy in this eclipse. So, best wishes to all the Gemini rising. And before that, yes, I want to talk to you about your weekly indicator. So, your weekly indicator personal is medium, career is medium, social is medium, love is medium, health is a bit low because lunar eclipse may affect sleep and vitality. So, take care of your health and stay well hydrated. Some evening light stretches will help you, and step away from screen. Digital detox before bedtime is recommended. All the best to all the Gemini rising. Welcome to all the Cancer rising. Cancer, we have four transits this week. I must say three moon transits and one special event. So the one major event is about the partial lunar eclipse happening on August 20th in Aquarius. But before we get into eclipse, let's talk about your ruler, moon first, and see how you're going to feel this week. Although this week is not so great for any one of us because it's a lunar eclipse happening this week. So on August 23rd, the week opens up with the moon already in the sign of Sagittarius in your sixth house represents our daily routine and health. Now, however, due to Saturn and Mars also aspecting the same house, workplace pressure or health related restlessness may show up. So avoid pushing your body very hard or getting into workplace friction this week. Now on August 25th, moon will be in the sign of Capricorn in your seventh house of marriage. Your focus turns to your spouse, business partner, or key clients. You may feel emotionally restricted or a bit restless. Mars is also aspecting this house. However, I see Jupiter is also blessing this house. So the heaviness is real, but it is protected. So speak softly and let honesty carry the relationship. Now on August 27th, the moon will be in the sign of Aquarius, very close to the eclipse in the eighth house of transformation. This is really special for you, Cancer. So the Rahu is already placed here and partial lunar eclipse falls right here on August 28th. Inheritance related to inheritance, in-laws, emotional pattern, all may quietly stir up. Handle shared discussions and private conversation with real care. Anyway, let's cover this in our next segment. So, this eclipse may or may not be visible from your location, but the energy still touches all of us at some level. Now, what makes this eclipse so special? It is because it is falling in the sign of Aquarius, which is special, and in the Shatabhisha Nakshatra. Shatabhisha is known to have the power of 100 healers working together at the same time, bringing a wonderful wave of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our lives. And for you, Cancerizing, this eclipse is falling in the depth of 8th house. Now, since Moon rules your ascendant, this eclipse touches you even more personally than others. It is at an emotional and karmic reset around deep hidden matters and things you have been quietly sitting with. So, here is what to expect. Hidden matters will surface, long buried emotional pattern, secrets, or old fears may quietly rise. Face them with courage, and real healing becomes possible. Remember, Satabhisha is backing this eclipse. Now, since Moon rules you, this eclipse may feel more intense than for others. So, rest deeply and honor whatever emotion comes to the surface. Now, your relationship with your in laws may come under review or go through a transformation. Keep your future goals and plans very private right now, Cancerian. Don't let your transformation. Let it happen behind the scene quietly. Don't share it yet. Now, trust matters in close relationship may quietly come up for a review. So do not force conversation. Let clarity emerge as it is naturally. Now, avoid speculative investment, high risk financial deals, or lending large sums of money right now. Focus on clearing pending taxes or updating insurance instead. Now, this is a healing window, as I discussed before, because Sattvisha is backing this up. Genuinely a strong window for real transformation, breaking self sabotaging habits or patterns, quietly releasing what no longer serves you, recovering or reuniting with your in-laws if there is a difference, any shared assets or shared property, shared value which you have with your spouse, a very good time to heal and move forward. Now, because your chart ruler moon is under eclipse, you need to stay well hydrated, watch your diet, and give yourself extra rest if you feel sudden dip in physical energy. Now, some more remedies you can do is chant Om Namah Shivaya 108 times during the eclipse hours. Avoid signing anything new, a contract or a financial discussion or decision. And also keep your plans and initiatives secret before you are ready to share it with others. Now, after the eclipse end, donate food, essential groceries, or help someone needy or underprivileged people. Another thing you can do is, because it is falling in the eighth house, journaling, meditating, or spending time in silence to let old emotional pattern release naturally. Remember, Shatvisha will help you if there are any extra old baggage. You this is a great time to just release them. And remember, this eclipse is a very natural phenomena which keeps happening every year. There is nothing to fear. It is more of a psychological and inner reset, and not an external one like solar. So, and it ripples may quietly play out over next few weeks or months. But anyway, now you know how to make use of this energy. Now, if you look at the weekly indicator, personal is low. Your ruler is going under eclipse. So meditate and rest. Then career and finances medium, social is medium. Prefer close trusted people over crowd this week. Love is medium. Handle trust conversations very gently. Health is low cancerian. Prioritize sleep and eat light. So best wishes to all of you. And if you would like to discuss your personal birth chart, feel free to reach out to me on the contact details given below on the screen. All the best to you. Welcome to all the Leo rising. Leo, we have four events this week. Three of them are transits of the moon, and one of them is a partial lunar eclipse happening on August 28th. But before we talk about eclipse, which is the highlight of the week, let's talk about the moon first and see how you're going to feel this week. Although all of us are not feeling so great this week because of the eclipse, but still, let's see. So, on August 23rd, the week opens with the moon already in the sign of Sagittarius in your fifth house of creativity and intelligence. But Sun and Mars are already expecting the same house. So, watch for impatience, especially with kids, or restlessness around your creative ideas, decisions, or with your romantic partner. Speak softly. Then on August 25th, the moon moves into the sign of Capricorn in your sixth house of daily routine. So your focus turns to daily routine, colleagues, and small tasks. You may feel emotionally restricted or a bit of restless, as Mars is also aspecting. However, Jupiter is also aspecting this house. So the heaviness is real, but it is protected. So handle workplace matter with patience. Now on August 27, the moon is in the sign of Aquarius in the house of marriage and partnership. So matter regarding spouse and business partner, this will all come into the focus. Rahu is already placed here. Lunar eclipse is going to happen. Sudden shifts will come up. But let's talk about it more in the next section now. Yes, this eclipse may or may not be visible from your location, but the energy still touches all of us at some level. And what makes this eclipse special? It is falling in Aquarius and in Satabhisha Nakshatra. This is special because Satabhisha is a nakshatra which has the power of 100 healers working together at the same time, bringing a wonderful wave of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our lives. And for you, Leo, this eclipse is falling in the seventh house of marriage and partnership. So, what you need to do is review unspoken expectations, buried resentments, or long standing pattern with your spouse or even business partner. These all may quietly surface. Now, your spouse may experience significant life changes or health shifts around this time. So, you need to take care of their health. Emotional distance doesn't necessarily mean an end. It often signals a need to drop superficial expectation and focus on genuine respect, peace, and emotional stability. Now, there is a identity first house versus relationship second house tension, seventh house tension, first and seventh, Rahu and Ketu access. Now, since the eclipse hits this access, you and your partner, you may feel torn between honoring yourself and honoring the relationship. So you need to navigate with care. Now, business partnerships will shift. Sudden shifts in business, contract, or joint venture may also show up. So do not sign anything in haste. Read carefully, or I would recommend you postpone it for the last week or the first week of September. Now, if you're a single, rethinking partner preference will come up to the surface. You may quietly rethink what you truly want in a partner. When do you want to marry? Do you want to marry? Or is it a social pressure that's telling you something? All of these can play on your mind. Pay close attention to your spouse, especially if anything feels off, please do not waste time and go and check with your doctor. And for you, you need to take care of your, especially your lower body, kidney health. Do not ignore lingering fatigue or delay your routine checkup for you as well, because first house is also, your body is also in the excess. Now, because the moon rules your 12th house, you may see a temporary surge in unexpected expenses linked to your spouse, medical expenses, business expansion, foreign trip, foreign travel. So manage your cash flow carefully and avoid overcommitting financially to anybody for the last 2 weeks of this month. Now, this is a healing window, like we discussed earlier. Utilize this eclipse energy into your favor. How do you do it? This is because it's a genuinely healing period. We can work on the relationship issues if we have any, because seventh house represents one-on-one relationship. It represents spouse and marriage and business partner, but it also represents everybody else in our life. So this is a fantastic time if you want to just go and reconnect with somebody. It's a time that you can heal the older wounds if you have, or talk it out or vent out if you want to, and very authentic time actually. So yes, utilize this one. And some remedies I want to share with you is chant Om Namah Shivaya in the eclipse, on the eclipse day, on the eclipse hour. Don't sign anything in haste. Avoid if you can. And after eclipse ends, donate food, essential groceries, medicines to people who need them, to underprivileged people, or to some community where they accept food for donation. Now, since the eclipse falls in your seventh house, quietly offer a gesture of care to your close one-on-one relationship or with your spouse. Now, please remember, eclipse is a natural phenomena, happens every year, so there is nothing to fear. It is more of a psychological and inner reset than an external one, like we have in solar eclipse. And it ripples may quietly play out even for next few weeks or months. But remember what we discussed and utilize it in your favor. Now let's look at the weekly indicator for you, Leo. Leo, you have been, this year has been terrific. Anyway, Ketu has been placed in your first house since so long, and you must be, feeling all of it. Whatever we have discussed, it's all very intense for you this year, but very intuitive as well. So let's see. Personal is low. Sun is in your sign, and with Ketu plus eclipse is there, and lot of inner work, and gentle remedies to reflect and rest well, which you have been doing anyway. Now, career and finance is medium, steady, but hold major moves. Social is medium, prefer trusted one-on-one time with trusted friends. Love is low because partnership access is directly hit in Rahu Ketu axis. Handle spouse or partner conversation with real softness, Leo. Now, health is medium, so rest well and eat lightly, and all the best to you. September is a promising month for all of us. So let's look forward to it, and let's navigate this eclipse energy with the power of knowledge. Now you know how to utilize it. And if you want any one-on-one, discussion on your birth chart, on your personal, if you need a personal reading, please feel free to connect with me on the mobile number and the email ID given below on the screen. All the best to all of you. Welcome to all the Virgo rising, my fellow Virgo rising. Let's see how this week is going to be for all of us. So we have four events Three of them are moon transits, and one of them is a major event. It's a partial lunar eclipse happening on August 28th. But before we jump into the eclipse and understand it better, let's start with the moon transits first. On August 23rd, the week opens with moon already in the sign of Sagittarius in our fourth house of home and inner peace, bringing a warm focus on family life. However, due to Saturn and Mars also aspecting the same house, some emotional weight or restlessness at home may show up. So we need to handle domestic matter gently and pay attention to our mother's health and her well-being. Now, on August 25th, the moon moves into the sign of Capricorn in our fifth house of creativity, romance, and children. So the focus will turn obviously to matter of heart and self-expression. So you may feel emotionally restricted or a bit restless. Mars is also expecting, however, Jupiter is also expecting. So the heaviness is real but protected. Be gentle with kids and with your creative decision. Now on August 27, the moon will be in the sign of Aquarius in your sixth house of daily routine and your health. Now everything comes into the focus, anything connected to the sixth house. Rahu is also placed there. Lunar eclipse are also going to happen. Your Raksha Bandhan is also there on the next day. Sudden workplace friction can happen. But anyway, let's cover more of this in our next section. So the eclipse may or may not be visible from your location, but the energy still touches all of us in certain level. So what makes this eclipse special, Virgos, is this is happening in the sign of Aquarius, but the nakshatra it is happening is Satabhisha. Satabhisha has the power of 100 healers working together, bringing a wonderful way of restoration, emotional clarity, deep healing into our lives. And for you, Virgo, it is happening in the sixth house of daily routine and our health. So let's see what all can surface. First is sudden workload increases, new duties get assigned by your workplace seniors, workplace politics may surface. So view extra responsibility as growth opportunity and handle office politics with calm diplomacy. Now, health signals are there to watch for. Small nagging health issue may have been which you have been ignoring may quietly ask now for attention. So listen to your body, please don't avoid it. And daily routine will also shift. Something in your daily rhythm may quietly break down, forcing you to restructure. So trust the reset, utilize this energy. Pending legal matters, exams, competition, loan applications may see unexpected shift. So avoid taking any new debt or unnecessary borrowing right now and stay very disciplined work. Now, because moon rules your 11th house of income, so fluctuations may occur in your income. You may become more selective with your friend circle as well, or step up to support and elder sibling. 11th house represents all of this. Now remember, this is a healing window for all of us because eclipse is in Satabhisha. We should utilize and navigate this eclipse energy in our favor. So this is a genuinely strong window for healing chronic pattern, health issues, and going for detox, fasting on the eclipse day, and quietly restructuring your daily habits. Very very good time to get rid of our bad old habits which we really want to get rid of and we are not able to. This is a good week to get it done because Satvishya Nakshatra will help you reset it. Now some of the remedies is chant Om Namah Shivaya 108 times during the eclipse day or eclipse time. Avoid signing any new contract or making major financial decision in eclipse window. After eclipse end, donate food, medicines, essential groceries, offer help to underprivileged people, offer help to pets and animals in the rescue center. And also remember, this is a natural phenomena. Eclipse happens every year. There is nothing to fear. It is more of a psychological and inner reset than an external one like we had in solar eclipse last week. And it ripples may quietly play out over the next few weeks or months, but we already know what to do. So let's utilize this in our favor. Now let's look at the weekly indicator for all of us. Virgo, personal is medium. Thank God it's not low. It's reflective. We need to take care of our health and body. Career is medium. Handle workplace friction gently. Social is mediums. It's a very steady week. Nothing huge. And love is medium. Not the strongest for romantic focus. Health is low. So we need to take care of our health because this is happening in the sixth house. Take care of your pets as well because sixth house represents our pets and animals, small animals at home. Stay well hydrated, and low evening stretches and light meals will also help. So, all the best to all the Virgo rising. And if you would like to get a personal reading for your personal birth chart, please feel free to reach out to me on the contact details given below on the screen. All the best to all of you. Welcome to all the Libra rising. Libra, we have four events this week. Three of them belongs to the moon, and one of them is a special event of partial lunar eclipse, which is happening on 28th of August. But before we talk about eclipse, let's talk about the moon first, and let's see how you're going to feel this week. Although this week is not so great on feelings for all of us, but on August 23rd, the moon opens up. The moon is actually already in the sign of Sagittarius in your third house of communication and courage, bringing an active and expressive undertone. However, due to Saturn and Mars are also expecting the same house, watch your words and hold back sharp reactions with siblings or in your daily conversation this week. Then on August 25th, the moon moves into the sign of Capricorn in your fourth house of your mother and your inner peace. So you may feel emotionally restricted or a bit restless as Mars is also expecting. However, there is a quiet grace of Jupiter also expecting. So the heaviness is real, but it is protected. So handle home matters gently and pay attention to your mother's well. Now, the next one is on August 27 when Moon will be in the sign of Aquarius in your fifth house of creativity and intelligence. So, matter of heart, self expression, and kids, all of this comes into the focus. Rahu is already here, and there is partial lunar eclipse. There is Raksha Bandhan coming next day. So, anyway, let's cover all of this in the next section because we will need some navigation here. Now, the eclipse may or may not be visible in your location, but the energy still touches all of us at some level. Now, what makes this eclipse so special is it is falling in the sign of Aquarius, yes, but it is happening in the nakshatra of Shatabhisha. Shatabhisha has the power of 100 healers working together at the same time. A very fantastic star constellation, bringing a wonderful wave of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our lives. And for all of you Librans, it is happening in the fifth house of creativity and romance and intelligence and self expressions. So, what it means for you is because Moon rules your 10th house of career, professional success alone won't feel enough if your heart isn't in your work. This is what will happen first thing. So, a creative project may pause, bringing a strong push to upskill or align your career with genuine passion. So, you're not going to enjoy until you feel that you really know it and you really want to do it. Romantic conversation may carry more weight than usual. You will naturally prioritize deep emotional compatibility and shared values over superficial attraction or social validation, which is good. Do not make any impulsive romantic decision this week. Now, suppressed feelings or unspoken secrets in romantic relation may also surface, giving you a chance to clear the air and heal the bond. Remember, Satvisha will help you to clear, any confusion that you have in your love life. Now, if you have kids, children, then their achievement, their worries or emotional needs may also quite come to the surface. So handle them with softness. The fifth house governs stock market, the speculative gains. So avoid speculative trading, high risk investment or emotional financial decisions during this eclipse shadow window. Now, this is a healing window like we discussed. So navigate, make use of this eclipse time. This is a genuinely a strong window for healing. Creative block if you are a creator or you're creative, if your work demands creativity, even intelligence is represented by this house. So overall, releasing self-doubt and quietly reconnecting with what makes your heart feel alive, this is the time. Even mantra sadhana, mantra siddhi, which is represented by fifth house, this is the fantastic time to do it. So let's not fear this eclipse and let's utilize it in our favor. Now, some of the remedies I can share with you is chanting Om Namah Shivaya on the eclipse day or time. Avoid starting anything new, not starting anything new, but especially signing contracts, major financial decisions during this 1 day window. Now, after the eclipse ends, donate food, essential groceries, or offer help to underprivileged people. Now, fifth house represents children, so spending time with them, donating something for children's cause, orphanage, or educational effort will be lovely. And please remember, eclipse very natural phenomena, happens every year to all of us. There's nothing to fear. It is more of psychological and inner reset than an external one, and it ripples may quietly play out over few weeks or few months. But you already know what to do and how to utilize this energy in your favor. So that's how you should do it, Libra. Now let's look at the weekly indicator. Personal is medium, steady but reflective. Career is medium, avoid speculation. Social is medium, handle children and family matters gently. Love is low, romantic sensitivity is very high. So, a gentle remedy is to hold impulsive decisions and speak softly. Health is medium, so you should rest well and stay hydrated. So, all the best to all the Libra rising. And if you would like to get a personal reading for your own birth chart, please feel free to reach out to me on the contact details given below on the screen. All the best. Welcome to all the Scorpio rising. Scorpio, we have four events this week. Nothing major, no other big planet transit, but you know how this week is special is it is special because there is a partial lunar eclipse, and this is a major event for all of us. And it is happening on August 20th. But before we talk about the eclipse, let's talk about the moon transit first. So on August 23rd, the week opens with the moon already in the sign of Sagittarius in your second house of wealth, family, and speech, bringing focus on money, home, and your voice. However, Saturn and Mars are also aspecting this house and will aspect moon. So, watch your words in family conversation and avoid impulsive financial decision these 2 days. Now, on August 25th, the moon moves into the sign of Capricorn in your third house of communication and sibling. So, your focus turns to conversation, short trips, and courage. You may feel emotionally restricted or a bit restless as Mars is also expecting. However, I can see Jupiter is also expecting. So, the heaviness is real but protected. Speak thoughtfully and hold your patience with your siblings, your neighbors, or with your work colleague. The next is on August 27. The moon will be in the sign of Aquarius in your fourth house of home and inner peace. So Rahu is already here, and partial lunar eclipse is also happening the next day. Raksha Bandhan is also there. Full moon is also there. So unexpected shifts at home can happen. Tension with family members or matter can happen. Your mother may quietly stir up things, and so handle home matters and your mother's well-being with real care. We will let's cover in the next segment. Okay, now this eclipse may or may not be visible from your location, Scorpio, but the energy still touches all of us in some way. So what makes this is eclipse special? It is falling in Aquarius and it is falling in Satabhisha Nakshatra. Now Satabhisha has the power of 100 healers working together in your favor. This is a very beautiful star constellation, bringing a wonderful way of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our lives. And for you, Scorpio, it is falling in the fourth house of inner peace and our property, our assets, mother, our domestic life. So, what it means for you is because Moon aspects your 10th house of career, first thing, protecting your inner peace is very, very essential. Emotional stability at home will directly support your stature, your professional progress right now. Then old family discussion may surface. Avoid forcing your viewpoint. Instead, listen to what family members, elders are saying and seek guidance from your father figure, your guru regarding the life direction. Now, home emotional sensitivity is very high, so old feelings tied up family of origin may quietly resurface, so handle domestic matters gently. Now, property or vehicle shifts are also on the cards. Avoid property purchases, sale, or vehicle related any paper sign off this week because Rahu sitting here can also bring unexpected turns. Mother's well being is in focus. Please pay a soft eye to your mother's health and emotional world this week. Your pull towards sacred scripture, spiritual reading, and philosophical study will naturally increase during this period. You should be prepared for unexpected home repairs. Yes, it can happen. Renovation needs or vehicle maintenance expenses can come up. So you will have to maybe deal with it. Now, healing window is there because Sattvisha Nakshatra is there. So, how do we convert this into our favor? Is This is a genuinely strong window for real emotional healing, releasing our childhood pattern, childhood trauma, childhood any things that are there on your mind, and quietly rebuilding your inner sense of home. Now, how do you do it? Is how do you release this long, old wounds that are there connected to our domestic life or to family members, to our mother, father, our childhood trauma? First is talking to people, bringing this to surface and venting and explaining your point of view. That can be one. Do it gently, because eclipse period is for everybody and not just for you. Secondly, journaling or writing about it. This is what I do. I normally journal, write about things, and then I burn the pages, and it really gives me some relief. But you can have your own way or style. How do you want to vent it? And third is meditating, because eclipse is a time where it is said in our scriptures that whatever prayers we offer go multifolds. So meditating and focusing and visualizing is another thing that can help you. And because this window is so powerful, you should be utilizing it rather than just going through the eclipse and feeling dull and all. What you can do is utilize it in your own favor. And some more remedies that you can do is chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Avoid signing any new contract or papers this week. Then donate food, essential grocery, or offer help to underprivileged people. Give them food and maybe essential items. Spend time in silence, meditation, and consciously release all resentments through forgiveness, maybe. Just forgive and forget. And there is nothing to fear, because this is a natural phenomena. Eclipse happens every year. It is more of a psychological and inner reset than an external one, and it ripples may quietly play out over next few weeks or months. But you already know what to do, Scorpio. So let's utilize it. Now let's look at your weekly indicator. Personal is medium, reflective. Honor your inner space. Career is medium. Avoid property decisions or signing major contracts at work. Social is medium. Prefer family over the crowd this week. Love is medium. Handle home conversation gently. Health is low. Emotional turbulence may affect sleep and well-being. So please follow the remedies shared, with you. And all the best to all the Scorpio rising. And if you would like to get a personal reading on your birth chart, please feel free to reach out to me. And the contact details are given below on the screen. All the best to you. Welcome to all the Sagittarius rising. Sagittarius, we have four events this week. Three of the transits for the moon and one major event. We have partial lunar eclipse on August 28th. No other planetary transit is there this week, but still this week is special because of the eclipse. But before we talk about it, let's talk about the moon first and see how your week is going to be. On August 23rd, moon will be already in the sign of Sagittarius, right on your first house, bringing a warm and thoughtful undertone to your energy. However, Saturn and Mars are aspecting on the same house, so you may feel a serious weight in the air. So, do not push yourself very hard and avoid taking impulsive personal decisions this week. Then, on August 25th, the moon moves into the sign of Capricorn in your second house of wealth, family. So, your focus now turns to money, home, and your voice. You may feel emotionally restricted a bit. You know why? Because Mars is also aspecting this house. However, Jupiter is also aspecting the moon and this house. So the heaviness is real, but it is very well protected. Speak thoughtfully and avoid impulsive financial moves. Then on August 27, the moon will be in the sign of Aquarius in your third house of communication and courage. So, matter of voice, short trips, daily conversation will come into the focus. Rahu is already placed here. There is a partial lunar eclipse also happening on the next day. Then there is Raksha Bandhan happening. Sudden communication shifts can happen. Sibling tension can happen. There is Raksha Bandhan. You be very careful. Something can stir up, in this atmosphere. So handle conversation and short distance matter with real care. Let's cover more on this segment now. So the eclipse may or may not be visible from your location, but the energy still touches all of us at some level. Now, what makes this eclipse special is it is happening in the Satabhisha Nakshatra. The star constellation is known for carrying the power of 100 healers working together at the same time. How favorable is this for all of us? Now, this is like bringing a wonderful wave of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our life. And for you, Sagittarius, it is happening in the third house of courage and communication. Very important house, actually. So, what all can surface for you during the eclipse period or for few weeks from now is first is sibling matters will be in focus. Since Raksha Bandhan is also around the corner this week, and the eclipse is also there in the third house. Your relationship with siblings, cousins, or your close friends may quietly come into the focus. You need to handle these bonds with lot of warmth. Words carry an expected weight this week because it is happening in the house of communication. So watch what you say, especially in emails. You're doing a sales pitch, a call, or you're writing something on Facebook, social media, Instagram, Twitter. Be very, very careful. Keep your upcoming plans, income, and strategies very, very private for now, and rather than sharing prematurely, especially with on social media. Now, short distance travel caution is there. Small trips or daily commute may face delays or disruptions, so plan buffer and with alternative options. Stay watchful. Workplace pressure or challenges may test your patience, pushing you to learn a new practical skill because this is third house. So, trust that repeated effort and upskilling will build long term confidence for you in future. Now, remember, this is a healing window for all of us because it is happening in the Satvisha Nakshatra. It is generally a very strong window for healing sibling wounds, breaking communication pattern that no longer serve us, and finding our true tone or true voice. Now, because eclipse is there, we may all feel a bit here and there all over the place, especially third house is our communication and courage, our effort house. So how you can utilize this eclipse period is breaking the habits that we are, we know in communication that we normally do mistakes. For example, I can share with you that I'm not good at taking compliments. Anyone compliments, I normally hide or I say, oh, it's all right. No, you should be able to gracefully accept if somebody is complimenting you. You should just say thank you and I appreciate. And something like this, if anything is there in your behavior, in your communication, especially socially when you're talking to people, writing something, this is a very good window to initiate, reflect, and make note how do you want to change it. And if you are not getting along with any of your sibling, neighbors, close friends, work colleagues, this is also a very beautiful time to heal bonds with them. How do you do it is do some gentle gestures or try to reconnect, because Shatabhisha will try to heal these things and maybe give you a new start. So you see how wonderful this eclipse is. It is not just reflecting and but also a time for all of us to maybe improve or regain on our relationship. And some of the remedies that I can share with you is chant Om Namah Shivaya during the eclipse hours. Avoid signing any new contract, work contract, or major financial document. After eclipse, donate food, essential groceries, or offer help to underprivileged people. And since this is eclipse is happening in your third house of siblings and Raksha Bandhan is there, what you can do is donate. Gift your siblings in Raksha Bandhan. That is one. And second is donating books, stationery, or educational material to students, to your cousins who are younger to you, or to your neighbors' kids. Because third house also represents skills. So maybe you donate something which can help them in their education. And please remember, this is a natural phenomena that happens every year. There is nothing to fear. It is more of psychological and inner reset that an external one, not an external one like solar eclipse that we had last week. But its ripples make it quietly plays out over the next few weeks or months. So you already know what to do, Sagittarius, and utilize this in your favor. Now let's look at your weekly indicator. Personal is medium, reflective. Hold your patience. Career is medium, handle communication carefully. Social is medium, handle sibling matter gently, especially Rakhi is there. Love is medium, steady weak, and health is medium. Watch your hands, arms, and shoulders and follow the remedies that I've shared earlier. So, all the best to all the Sagittarius rising. And if you need any one on one consultation or personal reading on your birth chart, feel free to reach out to me on the contact details given below on the screen. All the best to all of you. Welcome to all the Capricorn rising. Capricorn, we have four events this week. Three of them belongs to the moon transit and one very special. We have partial lunar eclipse happening on August 28th. But before we talk about the eclipse, let's talk about the moon first and see how this week is going to be. Although this week is not so great for all of us, but still it has a power of healing. Now, let's see. On August 23rd, the week opens with the moon already in the sign of Sagittarius in your 12th house of solitude. So, this is very reflective time, reflective undertone is there. Now, but Saturn and Mars are expecting the same house, so expect some emotional heaviness on an unexpected expenses. So rest deeply and avoid overspending this week. Now the next is on August 25th. The moon moves into the sign of Capricorn, right? In your first house. So the focus turns inward to your body, to your identity, your energy. You may feel emotionally restricted. Why? Because Mars is also expecting the first house. However, Jupiter is also expecting. So the heaviness is real, but it is protected. So be gentle with yourself and take care of yourself. Now the next is on August 27. Moon will be in the sign of Aquarius in your second house of wealth, family, speech, and food. So matters of money, home, and voice comes into the focus. Rahu is already placed there. Then there is lunar eclipse. Then there is Raksha Bandhan. Everything is happening. Sudden financial surprises can happen. Family tension, sharp words. You need to handle money matters and family conversation with real care. Anyway, we will cover more on this in our next segment. So this eclipse may or may not be visible from your location, but the energy will touch all of us in a certain level. Now, what makes this eclipse very special is it is happening in Aquarius in Shatabhisha Nakshatra. Now, Shatabhisha Nakshatra is known for carrying the power of 100 healers together, working at the same time in your favor, bringing wonderful wave of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our lives. And for you, Capricorn rising, this is happening in the second house of family and accumulated wealth. So, what you can expect is first, family emotional sensitivity will be on the radar. Old family pattern, unspoken tension, or quiet grievances may surface. You need to handle every family conversation with softness. Remember, everybody is going through moon eclipse, not only you. Now, Rahu's presence may trigger unexpected shifts in savings or family money. Involve your spouse in major financial planning. This is a tip that I'm sharing with you. Avoid lending large sum and refrain from making financial commitments you cannot fulfill. So, three things: involve your spouse in whatever financial planning you're doing this month or few months on. Avoid lending large sum of money to anyone and refrain making financial commitment which you cannot fulfill. Now, next is shift your focus towards practical budgeting and building saving to manage unexpected expenses. Delayed payments may finally come, or you may decide to create a new income stream. This can also happen. Maintain absolute clarity in family, business, or professional partnership and take time to review your old agreements if needed. Now, speech and words are in focus, second house is involved. So, what you say, especially this week, carries extra weight. So, guard against harsh words, especially at home with members, family members. Now, digestive discomfort, food related issues, dietary imbalance may quietly surface. So, eat lightly and mindfully. Eclipse period is not so great for heavy eating. Now, healing window is there that we have spoken about, Sattvisha Nakshatra. So, instead of, feeling restless or all over the place, what we all can do is we can utilize this energy in our favor. Now, because this is happening in your second house, the energy is there for second house, which is family. So first of all, what you can do is heal your old wounds with any family member. This is a good time to reopen, to have a chat, to vent, to explain your point of view. Second, it's with your savings, with your wealth accumulation. So you can review, you should be reviewing all your savings. Go check all your bank transactions, see where you are unnecessarily spending, cut off those subscription, cut off those even food habits that are not good for your health. Because Satvisha is there, it is backing you up and it is giving you a genuine strong window to heal everything, to take out of the things that are no more required. So let's utilize this eclipse window into our favor and let's see your weekly indicator. Yes, but before that, I want to give you two, three more remedies. One is chanting Om Namah Shivaya during the eclipse time. Don't sign any new contract or major financial document this week. Maintain strict discipline in your professional life and family responsibility, and also whatever food that you're eating. Then, after the eclipse ends, donate food, essential groceries, or offer help to underprivileged people. And since this is happening in your second house of family and wealth, offer food to those in need in the neighborhood, in the community center. Share a meaningful meal, even with your family members, with intention and gratitude. And remember, this is a common phenomenon which happens every natural phenomena. Eclipse happens every year. There is nothing to fear. So it is more of psychological and inner reset than an external one like solar eclipse. And it ripples may quietly play out over the next few weeks and months. But now you already know, Capricorn, what to do. So convert it into your favor. Now let's look at your weekly indicator. Okay. So personal is medium. It is reflecting, but guard your speech. Career is low. Lunar eclipse in second house of wealth directly connects with our finances or a career. So a gentle remedy is to hold financial decisions and let clarity emerge naturally. Social is medium. Handle family conversation gently. Love is medium. It's a very steady week. Health is medium. Watch your throat, mouth, and digestion. Eat lightly and stay well hydrated. So, all the best to all the Capricorn rising. And if you need any one on one personal reading or consultation, please feel free to connect with me on the contact details given below on the screen. All the best to all of you. Welcome to all the Aquarius rising. Aquarius, we have four events this week. Although there is no major heavy planet transit, but the week is very special because we have partial lunar eclipse happening on August 28th. But before we talk about the eclipse, let's talk about the planet moon first and see how the transits are placed this week. Now, on August 23rd, the moon is already in the sign of Sagittarius in your 11th house of gains, friends, bringing warm focus to your network and aspiration. However, Saturn and Mars are also aspecting the same house and moon. So avoid impulsive financial decisions or friendship confrontation this week. Now, on August 25th, the moon moves into the sign of Capricorn in your 12th house of solitude. You may feel emotionally restricted or a bit restless. You know why? Because it's 12th house and more because Mars is also aspecting. However, I see Jupiter is also aspecting. So the heaviness is real, but it is protected. So rest deeply and avoid overspending. Then on August 27th, the moon will be in the sign of Aquarius, right in your first house, your ascendant, your body, your identity. Rahu is also there, and partial lunar eclipse is happening the next day, and Raksha Bandhan is also there. So let's cover this more in our next segment and see what this eclipse can bring to the surface. Now, the eclipse may or may not be visible from your location, but the energy still touches us at a subtle level. What makes this eclipse special is for you more special because it is happening in the sign of Aquarius in Shatabhisha Nakshatra. This star's constellation is known for, the power of 100 healers are there, Satabhisha Nakshatra. A very, very beautiful star constellation bringing a wonderful wave of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our life. And for you, Aquarius, this is special and very, very personal because this is happening in your first house, your body, your identity, So let's see what all can come to the surface. First is because it is sitting directly in your first house, the eclipse triggers a powerful shift towards self authenticity. You will stop living according to others' expectation, leading to noticeable maturity, a simplified personal style, and a clearer sense of purpose. How beautiful this is. So, trust this shift. Second is you may feel physically drained or emotionally heavy because the moon rules your sixth house of health, which is getting eclipsed in the first house. Use this window to schedule pending health checkups, detox your body, and fix your daily routine, maybe daily sleep routine to start with. Then old fears of workplace competition may test your patience. Use this time to set firm boundaries with energy draining people and stop seeking external approval. Don't do it, Aquarius. You will become far more selective with your circle, naturally distancing yourself from draining relationships and workplace colleagues who attempt to control your image or narrative, all those negative people. Now you may feel drawn to change your look, style, or how you present yourself. So any change made now will set a new tone for you. Increased competition and extra workplace responsibility will test you. It will come to you, but this pressure will ultimately highlight your leadership qualities, and you are a trendsetter, Aquarius, remember that. And you can build unshakable inner confidence in this period. Remember, this is a healing window. Shatabhisha is backing you up with 100 healers working together in your favor, if sitting in your first house in your body. So how to utilize this energy is what we all can do, for especially for you, Aquarius, happening in first house, nothing to scare about. Extremely good time to look at yourself, whatever you want to change about your body, your looks, your thinking, your confidence, your overall personality, you can do in this period. And Shatvisha will back you up with 100 healers at the same time. You want to change anything about yourself, this is the time. Gently reflect and do it. And I'm sure this eclipse full week, even few weeks, will help you to reorganize your whole self, your life. So let's look at some of the remedies. You can chant Om Namah Shivaya 108 times during eclipse day. Don't sign any major financial document or a new work contract this week. Maybe you can do it, in the last week or first week of September, if you can avoid, or at least avoid on the eclipse day. Now, after eclipse ends, you can donate food, essential groceries, or offer help to underprivileged people. Now, since the eclipse falls right onto your first house, spend time in silence, meditation, gentle self care. Anything that helps you reconnect with yourself will genuinely serve you in this eclipse time. Now, please remember, this is a very natural phenomena, happens every year eclipse, and there is nothing to fear. So it's a psychological and inner reset, and an external one. It's not like external one solar eclipse, and it ripples may quietly play out over the next few weeks or months. But now you already know, Aquarius, what to do and how to navigate this eclipse energy into your favor. Now let's look at the weekly indicator. Personal is low. That's all right. Eclipse is there in the first house. It's more personal time. It's not a good time for connection. It is a me time for you. Career is a medium, which is good. Social is medium. Prefer solitude over crowds. Love is medium, steady, but not the strongest. Weak for romance. Health is low. That's all right. First house, it is your body and vitality is there. But if you take good care of yourself, Aquarius, I think the health will go from low to high. So rest deeply, eat lightly, stay well hydrated, and take care of yourself. All the best to all Aquarius rising. And if you would like to connect with me for your one-on-one personal birth chart reading, please feel free to reach out to me, and the contact details are given below on the screen. All the best to all of you. Welcome to all the Pisces rising. Pisces, one of my favorite sign. No, I'm not Pisces, but I love all the Pisces rising and Pisces moon. So, Pisces, we have four transits this week, or I should say three transits this week, which belong to moon, and one special event which also belongs to moon. There is a partial lunar eclipse on August 28th. But before we talk about the eclipse, let's talk about the moon first. On August 23rd, moon will be already in the sign of Sagittarius in your 10th house of career, bringing focus on work and ambition. However, due to Saturn and Mars are aspecting the same house, Saturn and Mars will aspect the moon. So there can be some workplace pressure you may feel, or some friction may happen with seniors. So hold your patience and avoid pushing career decision these 2 days. Then on August 25th, the moon will move into the sign of Capricorn in your 11th house of gains. Now your focus turns to income, network, and aspiration. You may feel emotionally restricted. You know why? Because Mars is also aspecting here. However, quiet grace of your own Lagna Lord Jupiter is also aspecting here. So heaviness is real, but you are protected. So handle friendships and financial commitments gently. Then on August 27, Moon will be in the sign of Aquarius in your 12th house of solitude and all things foreign. So Rahu is already here, and partial lunar eclipse is here, which will happen on 28th. So unexpected expenses, emotional turbulence, restless dreams may quietly stir up. But let's cover them in our next section of eclipse. Now, eclipse may or may not be visible from where you stay, Pisces, but you know what? The energy always touches us in some or other way. You know, some way it always touches. Now, what is special about this eclipse is it is happening in the sign of Aquarius, but it is happening in Satabhisha. Satabhisha star constellation is a very beautiful star constellation. It has the healing power. It's a healing nakshatra. It has the power of 100 healers working together, bringing a wonderful wave of restoration, emotional clarity, and deep healing into our lives. And for you, Pisces, it is happening in the 12th house. How special is this? Now, 12th house is connected to solitude, inner life, foreign matter. So let's see what all can come to the surface. First is deep solitude pull. You may feel unusually drawn to withdraw from noise and crowd. So you can honor that stillness which is coming your way. The eclipse in the 12th house urges you to release lingering emotional baggage and old memories. Seeking quiet time and solitude will help reset your subconscious mind and bring inner peace to you. Now you will feel a shift away from seeking public validation towards working quietly behind the scene. Focus on forgiveness and letting go of old pattern rather than entering into unnecessary confrontation this week. Dreaming or dreams may become intense and old subconscious material may quietly rise. So what you can do is journal whatever is surface. Now temporarily sleep disruption or disturbance may occur around the eclipse window. Prioritize rest and maintain a disciplined routine. The Rahu's presence here may trigger unexpected expenses around health, foreign matters, or commitments tied to children and relationship. Manage your budget with extra care. Now, foreign connections, study abroad plans. If you're a student or you want to study abroad, behind the scene projects may face brief initial delays before clearing up, but it will clear up. If unresolved romantic matters surfaces, choose calm dialogue over impulsive decisions, which you anyway choose, Spices, because you are calm. Now, parents will feel deeply involved in their children's future plans. So, if you have kids, you need to keep a watchful eye on expenses connected to kids, or even if you're romantically involved, overspending can happen this eclipse period. Now, remember, this is a very healing window, Pisces. Satabhisha is backing all of us. It is a nakshatra of 100 healers. We should not waste this energy which is coming our way. Now, this is genuinely strong window for deep spiritual healing, letting go of hidden fears and releasing what no longer serves you. How do you do it? 12th house represents meditation, me time, isolation. Please take out some time every day during this week. To reflect on your old wounds or baggages. Just release them, forget and forgive. What I do is I just write and tear them, or maybe I just burn them, I just flush them, whatever. I just write and I went, and it really helps me to cool down. You can do that if you want to. If that's not your style, go get into meditation, maybe go to a spa retreat. Just go reflect and utilize this window to get rid of all the negative emotions or feelings that we have for people around us. And also it is also a good time to connect with yourself. Now Saturn is already sitting in your first house, and you have been this so much of grilling is happening, Pisces. Just few months left, but still this is a good time again to take help of Satabhisha Nakshatra and the healing that is coming your way, and to work around the things that are really troubling you. So it's a good time, and let's utilize this energy. You can also chant Om Namah Shivaya 108 times, especially during eclipse hours. Avoid signing any new work contract or don't sign any major financial document on eclipse day. And after eclipse ends, donate food, medicines, essential groceries, or offer help to underprivileged people, especially in hospitals. If you can go and donate, or a community center, that is also a good idea. Now, because this is happening in 12th house, wonderful time for solitude and inner life. Spend time in silent meditation, retreats, acts of quiet charity done without seeking recognition is also a good idea. And please remember, this is a natural phenomena. Eclipse happens every year. There is nothing to fear. It is more of a psychological an inner reset than an external one like solar eclipse. And it ripples may quietly play out over the next few weeks or months, but you already know what to do, Pisces, and utilize this energy in your favor. Now let's look at the weekly indicator for you. So, personal is low, That's all right because it's a me time. Connect to self, meditate, and rest when required. Then career is medium. Watch unexpected expenses. Social is medium. Prefer solitude over crowds. Love is steady, medium. Health is medium. Watch your feet, sleep, and mental fatigue. Take care of yourself. So, all the best to all the Pisces rising. And if you need any one on one consultation or personal reading on your birth chart, please feel free to connect or reach out to me on the contact details given below on the screen. That sums up our weekly predictions for all the 12 signs. As we navigate this week's partial lunar eclipse, remember to stay grounded and embrace the restorative healing energy of Shatabhisha Nakshatra. Allow the emotional shifts to settle naturally and trust the process. Watch for all the 12 ascendants in this video and take help to navigate this eclipse season. Have a peaceful and successful week ahead, and I'll see you in the next video. Jai Harivat.